Well, hello there, and welcome back to Bedrock. My name's Alaydriem, and there is a zombie right behind me about to ruin my intro. This is not the time, zombie. Alright then, friends, welcome back to Bedrock, and today we have another special episode here on the server today. Today, we're going to be trying something a little bit new. We're going to be trying to decorate all of our bases that you see behind us here. Our starter base, decorating a little bit up in our farm area, our bee house as we've locally called it, and also our iron farm across the river. Today is going to be very different than our normal episodes because we're doing some interior design, which I am self-admittedly not very good at. But you know what they say, you don't get any better unless you practice and try new things, and the true master of his craft has failed 1,000 more times than a beginner has even attempted. So the only way that we can get better is to give it a shot and try some ourselves. So today, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be decorating, cleaning things up, and making the insides of our bases look as beautiful as the outsides. And the first step in any interior design project is to clean up the mess that you had created many episodes before. So I have gone around throughout all of the various bases that I have scattered across the valley here and consolidated everything into this new storage area. Now, it's nothing special, but we do have everything from all of our chests scattered across the valley sorted into one of these chests over here, and organized as well, so we don't just have a giant chest monster lying around. Over on this wall we have all of our valuable resources, our diamonds, our iron, our gold, all of the things like that. And over here on this left hand wall side we also have pretty much all of our building block type resources. And then over here on the right we have things like armor we've collected from end cities, potions, various other sorts of things as well, including a collection of heads that we might have taken. Please ignore the villager heads. I did not harm them. But everything is collected and gathered here within this wall. So we are now ready to start our main project for today, which is building out and refining the interior of this base right here. Now, I've spent a lot of time thinking about how I'd like this place to look, and I think what I've settled on is transforming this place into an inn, a place where travelers from all over the land can come, visit, share their stories, sleep their troubles and their nights away, and also have camaraderie with their other fellow adventurers. So I'm thinking what I want to do in this area is kind of stage this area up here in the front here as a innkeep shop area where people can gather, get what they need. Then up here in this second floor area, transform this into bedrooms of some sorts. We can have a couple of smaller ones and then maybe a larger master one. And then further on down the stairs here on this first floor, really transform this into a tavern slash living area where all of our adventurers can gather together, share tales, and plan their next adventures. And what I would really like to do with this area is give it some heart, give it some soul, some feeling, create some lore, a story, add a narrative behind all these places so that all of our buildings are tied together in such a way that not only makes sense, but really makes us feel like we're part of a really, truly magical world. So without further ado, let me formally welcome you to the new Enchanted Table. Yes, that is what we are calling our new starter base. This is our new inn that we are calling the Enchanted Table. I even have a nice little cute mini block over here so that if you ever get lost, you can find it. So let's take a peek inside and see what we have. Now, at the entrance to our innkeep, we have ourselves our main hallway where our innkeep himself can sit behind this counter, prepare food and beverages. I even have our little logo for our new tavern name scattered around here. On the walls, we have bounty boards, and we also have just a cute little block here that I used a little piston with to get that trapped in the glass. But we have ourselves a food area where our innkeep can prepare meals for all of our guests. Actually, yeah, I do have some food in here. Look at that. All of that cooked beef. That'll come in handy later. I'm gonna make sure we get that nice little bar. And then up here we have trophies that our adventurers have brought along their travels. Blaze heads, dragon heads from in cities, zombies, all sorts of various mobs that our villagers have brought together as trophies, not only to increase their reputation, but also to increase ours as well. And over here we have a sitting / dining area where our patrons can come in, dine to their heart's content, and just have feast together. And right here we have the music disc that I have been jamming out to while we built this. This one is called Wait, and I would love to listen to it with you, but I have no idea how YouTube's copyright system will punish me if I do that. So unfortunately, I'm not going to play that right now. So if you want to listen to that, this is called Wait. It's a fantastic little tune. Definitely recommend it. But over here, we also have some bookcases and this jukebox where our party members can really gather together and listen and really just have fun together. But moving upstairs to the second floor, we have ourselves a more intimate common room where we have bookcases that allow us to look over our tavern area, have conversations in this area, then also a few sitting areas for any of our scholars to work at. And then over here, we have ourselves our 3 little inn rooms, starting with the red room right here. A medium-sized room with some nice little accessories inside of it. Nothing too fancy, but definitely feels like a place you could rent for the night. Over here, the blue room, which is just a slightly smaller room for the single traveler who is only going to be spending a few hours and needs to rest. And of course, our master suite, where of course I will be staying at. 2 beds, everything that we need, storage, banners, armor stands, anything that we might need to make up for the night. So moving on upstairs, we've also transformed this area up here, and up here it kind of starts to get a little bit more mystical. As you can see here, our innkeep has a writing working area where he's clearly studying some ancient text, but we have these vines now growing all throughout this upper floor. It makes you sort of wonder what else is going on up here. Maybe our innkeep is into some sort of magic or other forbidden art that he's doing secretly. But over here we've also transformed our chest area just to make it a little bit prettier. But that is not the only surprise for this area. No. Up here, up this vine, we have the source of all this mystic growing, a cozy little enchanting area with an enchanting table, some bookshelves, some potion making stations. Clearly our innkeep has collected many of the treasures that our adventurers have brought to him and has been storing in this area, perhaps to experiment, perhaps to study, perhaps he himself was once an adventurer and the reason he hosts this inn is because he loves hearing about these adventures, but also he needs the resources for something. So this is a really fantastic little area. I really do love it up here. It is my favorite spot in the entire house. Not very practical, which I am a little bit disappointed in. I don't think a single one of these bookshelves is actually within range of this enchanting table, but it is such a nice, cozy, wonderful little place. And then over here, I just love how we have the cauldron kind of just bubbling with the fireplace underneath it. I really think that with this little pillar here in the middle really has tied the place together. And I think overall, this place has turned out really well. But wait, there is more. Down here, I have transformed this area as well. In our basement, I have extended our smelter, added an auto smelter system. As you can see, it's been quite busy with smelting up some iron, some glass, and some stone for us since my silk touch pickaxe also broke. Nice little space where we can just throw in all of our resources and very quickly get things out, even if I am constantly running low on coal and other things. Over here, I just have some storage area that I haven't really finished. And then over here is our real enchanting area. We have our lapis, we have our enchanter, and I decided to place in one of these configurable, toggleable enchanting setups so that we can pop up each individual bookcase and change the level. And then when we want to hide all of this, we can just kind of back out to page 8 or so here, and all of our bookshelves will fall back into the floor. So this is also a nice little cozy area that has some little redstone magic in it just to make it a little more interesting. Have tried to keep it relatively simple. I probably could have knocked the wall back one more to make it a little bit symmetrical, but after finagling with some redstone, I decided against it. Moving on outside, however, the fun certainly doesn't stop out here. No. We have more to show with this base area. So what I have done is done some exterior landscaping around this area as well to try to make it feel like this place is a little bit more lived in. So coming on over here and have our first custom tree of the season. This tree turned out, I'd say, fairly okay. There's some things I'm not super proud of, but I think it fits in very nicely with the area. It's old, kind of jaggedy, and has these lanterns going off of it, so it's a nice place just to sit under and relax. But I've also tried to use these azalea leaf bushes all over the place, and I think underneath it is where the tree really shines. This is really quite a cozy area, and I think if we add in some flowers and maybe a waterfall and a couple other things, that could really make this whole place shine just a little bit more. So overall, first custom tree of the season and first custom tree I've done in a very long time, and I think I'm pretty happy with it. But over here we have ourselves a new retaining wall and a beautiful place to watch the sunrise or the moonrise, depending upon what time of day it is. Also decided to add some switchback paths over here. This will go all the way down, and about right here is where I decided that I wasn't sure whether I wanted to reterrain and build a bridge across to this or whether I just wanted to go down. That is a lot of work though, and I haven't quite decided whether I want to commit to it quite yet. So if you have an opinion, make sure you leave a note down in the comments. Now, coming down over here to our bee house, I really struggled with what I wanted to do with this until the thought came to me that this could be an apothecary, a place where we could brew potions and all sorts of other things that we may need on our adventures. So as you can see over here, we have various forms of honey from our honey farm being brewed up into potions. And then also here on the table, some various fruits and other supplies that our potion master may mix together with his potions to make that cough syrup taste just a little bit better. But over here we have some hanging vines where our glowberries can grow, kind of a small little micro farm, and then also some flowers right here. But moving on up the stairs, we have some vines that have gotten wildly out of control and need to be trimmed back. I really wish we had that feature on Java where we could trim them. Here, let's go ahead and try that again. All right, and moving on up the stairs here, we have ourselves a nice, wonderful area for our potion master to be working in. As you can see up here, nice, beautiful skylight with some natural light coming in. Nice open area over here for them to work out of. And then in here, the main suite for our potion master and maybe any of his guests to have over. If we do ever have guests on the server, this would definitely be the place where we set them up. Plenty of storage for people and also some nice cute decorations as well. Tried to make this place open and livable, so if we wanted to add to it in the future, we certainly could. But it has the views, it has the crafting table, it has everything that we might need. Now for me, doing interiors on Minecraft builds is incredibly emotionally and mentally taxing. It drains a lot of my creative energy, and it comes a point where I simply just don't have the energy to go on anymore. So when that happens, what I like to do is stop, pivot to something else, and focus my energy elsewhere to recharge. So why don't you sit back, relax, enjoy the music, and let's start a time lapse. lovely path that winds all the way from our main base area all the way down to our iron farm. This has been a pet peeve of mine ever since we had that iron farm built, simply due to how dangerous it was simply getting there. There was just no good way to get there without spiders or creepers or any other sort of creepy crawlies trying to get up in your business and ruin your day. So what I've tried to do here is follow some sage advice, which is, if you think your build is boring in any way, just try to mix it up. Even if you're just doing a little bit of the same thing, do something that forces the brain to focus elsewhere. So in this case here, you're going down this hallway, things look a little bit boring. You're starting to see, oh, it's a path. Oh, here, now we're turning back into this wall. And now we have this beautiful view of the lake over here. So just a little bit something to keep the mind occupied while you're walking around. Just little things like this, switching the trail around, giving you a different perspective on different views, is a great way to take a relatively boring and monotonous path such as this one and really transform it into something that's a little bit more interesting. So, as you can see right here, we have just a simple path. There's that picture of that lake again. Here's the lake from another angle, and now here's a new bridge that we can crawl across. There's just so many ways that you can keep your builds interesting and different, even if it is something just as simple as a path. And I think this one turned out really well, especially with all the switchbacks and terraining I needed to do. But coming on over here to our iron farm, we really wanted to transform this area as well. So what I've decided to do over here is to make this an iron shop. Over here, we could have our iron shop that sells anything, and it's not fully stocked at the moment because there's no one on the server other than me. Nice little trapdoor there in case you're ever wondering what's behind there. Maybe I'll show that at some time. But we have iron people inside of the windows, various different iron armor for sale, and then any type of iron material that someone could want: cauldrons, hoppers, anvils, chests, and even individual iron blocks and nuggets. Coming back over here, though, we have a little bit of a restricted section, which I don't appear to have put a sign on. Down here, of course, is our iron farm. In case you forgot, have a nice little sign there. But moving on upstairs, we have our insignia here on the walls, and we have transformed this upper room into a workshop of sorts for our smith with any of the projects that he may have going on. We have ourselves just a collection of tools and armor that he may be working on, and then also anything over here at this workbench here. And I think what I'd like to call this area is the Iron Banner that he can. And lastly, because I don't think I have shown this off yet, we have made some changes over here at our wool farm as well. This building was mostly finished and it's really industrial, but I have decided to do some upgrades to our wool farm area over here. Added in a fully automatic item sorter for all of our wool blocks that are coming down here. Makes it very easy to sort everything in. Added some nice decorative bookcases and took advantage of some of these mini blocks that the wandering trader was giving out. Now, mind the head right here because you're going to bump into it. It's about as tight as I could make that, unfortunately. But as you can see here, fully automatic sorting system, and I have been using a lot of this wool, but as you can see here, this is about halfway filled up with double chests, and that's with me taking stuff out. So this farm has been incredibly productive. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that it's constantly being loaded, but over here we have ourselves access to our nether portal and some seeds that clearly have fallen down there. I'll need to check on those guys. But if we need to access our villagers, we can now have a direct route through here instead of walking around elsewhere. And then, of course, just some miscellaneous storage. I don't think we have a lot in there. But friends, that's going to be all the time that we have here today in this episode. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video, that you enjoyed the interiors of the bases that we decorated, and if you got any good ideas from this video or just enjoyed some of the ideas that we played around with, make sure you leave a like, consider subscribing, and consider sharing this videos with others, as it really does help the channel out and it helps this reach more Bedrock players just like you. So thank you once again for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next episode. And don't forget, you're always welcome on Bedrock. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.